Another review, and in this one we're looking at the Terrafirma 16-inch travel air shock. An air shock is effectively just a shock absorber and works in the same way. What makes an air shock different is the oversized shock shaft, and it's this that gives it the ability to support weight. The Terrafirma Air Shocks have a 2.5-inch body and a large piston shaft that is 1.6 inch in diameter. This means that they are easily capable of supporting vehicles of 2 to 3 tonne in weight. Air shocks do need to be set up for each individual application in order to cope with different driving styles and vehicle weights. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but essentially the amount of oil controls the spring rate and the pressure of the gas charge sets the ride height. In order to get a basic tune after mounting, start by adding nitrogen gas to get the correct ride height, then go for a drive. If the shocks bottom out too easy and it feels soft, more shock oil is required. If the ride was too firm, oil needs removing. Only change the oil volume by small amounts, 10 cc's at a time, until you're happy with the ride. To give you an idea of our setup seen here, the air shocks have been charged with 180 psi of nitrogen and have 30 cc's of extra oil added. This results in 7-inch of shock shaft showing at ride height. Looking at the top of the shock, you can see the blue anodized aluminium cap containing the spherical mounting bearing and Schrader gassing valve. The Schrader valve can be removed completely in order to assist adding or removing of oil. These shots were filmed after the shocks have been on the truck for quite a few months of tough punishment. This is the axle end of the shock. The mounting holes are 5/8, but will take an M16 bolt. Also, due to the large size of the spherical bearing, there is no need for a misalignment spacer when mounting. In our case, we have installed the air shocks only on the rear, as without major changes to the front setup, we wouldn't see any real advantage. At the moment there are no bolt-on kits for mounting these shocks, so custom fabrication is needed. We removed all the standard Land Rover spring and shock mounts from the chassis and axle. The axle mounting brackets are quite simple and mounted as far outboard as possible. For the top of the shocks, we fabricated mounting points tied into the cage and the chassis. Ideally you want 30 to 40% shock shaft exposed at ride height. We were keen to get as much up or bump travel as we could, so positioned the mounts to give us 7 inches of shock showing. After testing and competing with the initial setup, we found we were riding on the air bumps more than needed, and we had a touch too much drop travel in some situations. So we reduced the air bumps down to 2-inch travel and added limiting straps. We have been running, tuning and refining this setup throughout the year, and the air shocks have taken all the abuse thrown at them, be it the deep muddy gloop of the Croatian forests or the rocks and fast gravel tracks of Wales. In all they are impressive bits of kit, and with a build quality comparable to more expensive brands. These shocks will not be for everyone, and you will need a gassing kit in order to maintain and set them up. It would be great if Terrafirma extended the range. At present, 16-inch travel is the only flavour available. 14 and 12-inch travel options would help its use in other applications where packaging and space is more of a problem.